Either way, it's done. And fortunately, we celebrated her life as she wished. She would always tell us that she wanted a bride at her funeral, and we did exactly that, in addition to what she requested in her final days. And it was beautiful. 2019. 2019 was a very chaotic period of my life, actually. I just finished IB the year prior, and I decided to take a gap year, and in retrospect, I'm really glad I did, because if I hadn't, I would have been in university from the beginning of that year, meaning that I wouldn't have been able to spend much time with her before she passed. So around the same period of my grandmother's passing and shortly before her burial, I got to take part in a photography workshop courtesy of Barinere Literature Festival and Inkanyiso. The workshop was called Photo XP, and it was meant to teach us how to use photography to tell stories through imagery. And the main subject of this specific workshop was gender-based violence. And yes, that was a very heavy subject to tackle, especially considering the phase of my life that I was going through. But it was very important because there was a lot of things I hadn't dealt with related to the subject that had happened in my past. I just lost the most important person in my life. The one person I love more than life itself, and I can't imagine what would have become of me if I didn't enroll in this program. I learned a new skill. I was part of this beautiful community of creative and spiritual beings. I had a genuinely valid and meaningful reason not to have to be home all day. And if you know anything about African funerals, you understand why this was necessary. So for context, the immediate family of the deceased is somewhat obligated to host and cater to extended family members and family friends for a period of about a month, 2 weeks before the funeral and 2 weeks after the burial. And it's just, man, it's too much. It was too much. Granted, they were family members who I will acknowledge that without them, it would have been even more difficult because they were very helpful in so many things. Like, I could not name all of them, but just their presence alone was extremely, extremely meaningful. So, it's not all negative. But it was still very helpful to be able to get out of the house and sort of move away from all of that. And the Photo XP was exactly that for me. Despite tackling a very heavy subject as well of gender-based violence, I think it was a great opportunity for me to also let go of some unpacked traumas that I had packed away related to GBV that I've experienced or had close people to me experience. And I never actually got to present my project because the final day of the workshop fell on the same day as my grandmother's burial. So here it is, a little overview of my project titled Confined, because in that time I really felt confined by so many things: emotion, myself, the world, culture, everything. The year 2019 was truly pivotal in ways I could have never imagined. And this was only the beginning. This was just 1 month. And my grandmother's transition to the other side really opened our eyes in ways we never thought possible. And I guess it happened exactly as it was meant to happen. So what's the moral of the story? Well, it's honestly up to you to decide based on how you received it.